Hello survivors, welcome to another Path of Exile 2 video. We have a beautiful green poison build for everyone out there. This is a really excellent leveling build. Let's just get started on the skill tree. Firstly, you have to be playing with the Pathfinder to be able to get Poisonous Concoction, which I find kind of sad because there is actually a skill over here in the tree that says Explosive Concoction, which is fire damage. But getting ourselves all the way to this side of the tree is quite difficult to pick up all those fire nodes. So using lightning or poison is always going to be that much better, or even cold, sorry. So there's cold, there's lightning, there's poison. Poison's very, very strong because we've got a lot of poison in the ascendancy as well. We've got contagious contamination, which we've got. And then we go for overwhelming toxicity, which doubles the number of poison the targets can be affected by at the same time, which means we're going to be applying 8 stacks of poison. It does have less poison duration, so we do need to look for more poison duration while we're doing this as well, so we can kind of counterbalance that, but it shouldn't really matter that much. The damage the poison is going to do is going to be so high that the amount of poison we apply, the duration won't matter too much. And then there's 2 other options. You can either go for connected chemistry and enduring elixirs if you feel like your flasks are running out, because that gives you increased flask charges gained. Or we can go for the passive points and traveler's wisdom, which is what I'm going to be doing, for 6 extra passive skill points. So, on a Pathfinder, that is actually beautiful. Getting ourselves 6 additional passive skills is going to be huge. So we just got to do our other 2 ascendancies. This is a build diary, so we will be getting into this the further I go. Some changes I've made. Currently, the skill itself, the poison concoction, counts as a unarmed attack skill. So it's an unarmed chaos attack damage area skill which poisons enemies. It deals chaos damage, it always poisons on hit, and it consumes 3 charges from your mana flask. So as you leveling up, the skill itself levels up as well, and it unlocks increased gem skill slots. So you don't have to use any jeweler's orbs, you don't have to find them. It's very, very user friendly. It's very cheap to run, which is really, really fantastic. The one thing is it does have an additional effect from quality. Now, you cannot get quality on this gem using this character unless there's quality over here somewhere, which there isn't. So I don't know why there's quality on the skill. Maybe they plan to change it in the future, but you cannot quality poison concoction. So I'm not sure why it's there. But I digress. The skill tree, we focused on projectile speed over here in the beginning. We'll probably end up changing that and going for some evasion rating in the future. We then went for the combat alchemy, so that flasks we use don't consume charges. That doesn't work for the actual skill as far as I know. I did try and test it using a body chest piece as well, which said you had 50% chance to not consume flasks. With that, that's 60%, and it was consuming them 100% of the time. So I don't believe this affects the skill itself, but it does help with your life, life charges and your life flask when you are in a little bit of a duang. So we've got that. We then got movement speed, evasion rating. We went to flask charges gained, which is quite important. We've got ourselves a poison or maiming enemies when we poison them, and magnitude for poison, attack damage and blinding enemies on hit. We then are going to take subterfuge mask for the increased evasion rating based on the energy shield on our helmet. We are going to take as much quiver effect as possible from jewel slots, as well as mastering fletchling along with our weapon, which we'll get to. Stacking toxins over here with the poison duration over there, but we also land up at the top here taking building toxins, which increases it by an additional 1 as well, and then also escalating toxins, which gives us increased poison duration for each poison you have inflicted recently, up to a maximum of 100%. We've got over here, recover life on killing a poisoned enemy, including the magnitude of poisoned or increased magnitude of poison. It also comes with a bunch of duration around it, which is great. And then we've also got +1 to level of all chaos skills, which counts towards our skill itself because it is a chaos skill. So that's really, really good. And then we are currently we are moving up to our spectral ward over here to give us increased energy shield per evasion rating on our body piece, which is very, very good. So that's the pathing there. And then we go down to grab ourselves freedom of movement. make our way to the jewel socket, down to the wasting, as well as faster acting toxins. And then for our flask, because we do use mana flasks as an actual way to deal damage, we've got mana flasks gain 0.1 charges per second. And then on the mana flask, you want to try and roll gain 0.15 or 0.2 charges per second there as well. And you'll find out that you don't actually necessarily ever run out of charges on your mana flask. Very important, especially when you're using poison concoction, is to get the mana charges, the mana flask charges. But from now, we are going to, again, this is a build diary, so we are going to do updates to this build as we, invest more into the build itself, as we level up the skill tree. So for now, we are going to look at getting Spectral Ward, as well as getting Subterfuge Mask. And because we got quite a few skill points because of the Traveler's Wisdom, we will probably make our way up to the Patient Barrier over here for even more Energy Shield and even the Intelligence possibly. But I am I'm very interested in the Wither Away over here. We don't have any Withered right now in there because we don't have enough Spirit for it. But we can grab Withered over here for that, as well as the Pure Chaos over here. So we're going to take this Chaos Node over here. We're going to grab the Energy Shield over here, and we'll see what else is around while we're busy playing it. So for now, that's what it is. Spectral Ward is our next thing, and then Subterfuge Mask for the Evasion Rating and Energy Shield. In terms of gear, I've spent a total of 1 Divine on this character. This is something that I bought. I bought it for like 10 exalts or something, something silly. I actually have one already that was corrupted, but it wasn't 250%. It was 217%. But the one I had, which I picked up while playing the game, has 3 sockets on it. This one has nothing. So we'll see which one works out to be better. The chest piece I already had, so it's just something I threw on for stats. 511 evasion rating, it's not bad. We got some gloves over here with life, int, and resistances. Then we've got rings with life, int, resistances, as well as a little bit of chaos damage added there. And then life and resistances. Every other stat doesn't really matter too much. They just came with the ring. So the physical damage to attacks and lightning damage to attacks does add damage to the skill. So it does help. It also provides a little bit of shock every now and then, which doesn't really matter too much. The amulet, we landed up getting Spirit with +2. Every other stat right now doesn't matter. Again, it's all just a budget right now. We will be investing more into the character, but Spirit, the most amounts of Spirit possible, +2 or +3 to all projectile skills. And then because I'm already capped on resistances, that's all I need. So evasion rating, energy shield, or life will be very, very good there, as well as, stats, so attributes like dexterity and intelligence. Our quiver at the moment, again, just +2 to all projectile skills. Damage with bow skills, I don't believe that increases our damage because the skill is an unarmed skill. So we don't need the damage with bow skills, you just need projectile skills. I don't think you can run chaos damage on a quiver. That's something I'll double check for you, but that's something going forward as well. So we'll get the plus that adds physical damage to attacks, adds lightning damage, adds cold damage, whatever it is that we want. The most important stat, however, is going to be the projectile skills. Because of the quiver and effect of equipped quiver, we're going to get a whole whack of increased projectile levels on our build. So if we go and take a look at our skills, you can see our bow shot is level 26 when the skill itself is only level 16. So we got +10 skill 10 levels from global modifiers. 1 is from the chaos skill, 9 is from, well, in this case it's +11. This doesn't get the chaos skill upgrade. But poison concoction level 27, again it levels up as we level up. So I think by level 90 we get the last slot active, and then we also get increased levels to it. So the more we level up, the more the skill levels up, the more damage it does. We are running Scattershot, Comobility, Deadly Poison, and Chaos Infusion. For our last slot, we are going to be running Close Combat, just because it does give us attack damage, and because we are quite, I do run around in melee range, throwing poison at all the enemies. I then run Ghost Dance, Wind Dancer, Ghost Dance isn't that important in the beginning because we don't have a lot of energy shield, but it's, you know, it's just added defense, I guess. In the case 89 is 89. It's whatever right now. I don't have anything, so it's just sitting there. We got Wind Dance, which is very, very important. It is giving us 67% increase, you know, evasion rating for our character right now, and we're running blind on hit and maim, so blind and maim. So when we do get hit, we're going to maim and blind the targets. And then I am running Blasphemy, which is really cool. I'm only running it because I don't really want to slap Despair onto targets. I thought it'd be much easier to just run around and them having Despair on it. So Despair curses enemies with negative chaos resistance, so we deal more chaos damage to them. We then also got Magnified Effect, so that the Blasphemy has increased area of effect. And we're also running Vitality with it, so we gain increased life regen. So that's what we're doing. The stats for the character right now, you can see we got 75 fire, cold, lightning with 55% increased chaos res. So not the greatest chaos res, but that's still work to be had. One of the best things about the build is we don't need mana. So, you know, if we landed up with 1 mana, that would be fine as well. But let me go show you the brand new Lost Tower. I thought it'd be fun to do one of the brand new ones. It's not even called Lost Tower, it's called Mesa. And one, I haven't seen it, so it's going to be really interesting. And two, I get to show you the build itself. So let's take a look over here. Okay, beautiful. So firstly, as you can see, there's actually checkpoints now in the maps. But there we go. We just threw one, and everything around the target and the target itself lands up being exploded. Well, they don't explode, but they just die. So pretty simple. We just run around throwing poison. Whether or not I actually hit enemies is another story. I feel quite safe being on top of enemies and things like that. Still got to level a bit more. There is currently a bug in the game. I'm hoping that they sort it out relatively quickly, but there is a bug currently where they're no longer showing you the rares on the maps for you to complete a map. So it is very, very weird, but I'm sure they are busy working on it. Maybe there's already been an update while I'm busy talking over here and I don't even know it, but maybe they don't even know about it. But I did a map earlier where I had killed 99% of the map. There was like 10 targets left. One of them was a rare, and it doesn't show you the rare icon anymore on the mini map. So you are going to have to full clear just for the moment, just to make sure that you do get all those rares. So just make sure that you do get the message that says map completed. But there we go. I hit the target. We sit there, we wait for it, and we don't have to do anything else. As you can see, clears out trash quite easily and quite effortlessly. I love the fact that we've got checkpoints over here. But even on rares, I didn't even see what they had on them. Mesa seems like actually quite a nice little... it feels more refreshing than the Lost Towers. Actually, this feels so much better. Also feels a lot smaller. But let's go see if there's anything else on the map for us over here. But that's the showcase of the build. Nothing too major. It was really, in terms of leveling it and getting the story and all of that done, it was fantastic. I don't think I've ever had a character feel so good leveling. We literally ran up to everything in the story and we did exactly what we were doing. This is what I've been doing the entire time. Even on bosses, we throw the poison concoction at the boss. We would then wait a little bit for the poison to subside, and then we literally just sit there. Poison subsides, and then we do it again and again until the boss was dead. You feel like you are just sitting there watching a movie while the boss loses its life. So very interesting. Very beginner friendly. Like I mentioned, the reason I say it's beginner friendly is because there's absolutely nothing you need. You don't need jeweler orbs. You can keep them for a different build if that's what you're looking to go into. You can do whatever you want. You can use this to farm whatever content. I've done expeditions with it. I've done rituals with it. I've done the breaches with it as well. Nothing juiced yet. though, so I can't see how far that's going to go with it. But all the beginning stuff, if you want to like try the content and see how it works and everything, this build can do all of it. Delirium as well and things like that, because like the Awestruck Monk, I had an Awestruck Monk, and when you're doing delirium and things like that, I think they're immune to cold damage or something, or maybe my character's damage wasn't high enough, but I never got that satisfying explosion that you would have got on a character on a different map that didn't have delirium. So at least this with poison, you kind of just poison the target and they die, and everything around them also, the poison spreads and they die as well. But this is the first step. We're going to level up more, we're going to finish our ascensions, we're going to upgrade our equipment and see how far we can go with the build. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe survivors. Until next time, cheers.